Hey everybody, this is Steve Wagner here. I just want to go over our goals sheet that I want everyone to turn in on or about January 1, at least before we go back to work. And some of you that might be January the 3rd. But I'm sitting here on 7 o'clock New Year's Eve, and I want to make sure I get instructions out because a few of you have told me that you're a little bit confused by this sheet. There are two versions, just so you know. There's the version that we're looking at. We're setting the goals on that left-hand side, and then we're recording them on a weekly basis. That's not the one you're looking at, but it's designed to record your weekly basis and ultimately come up with a plan for a month. Now, this one is a plan for 6 months. We're taking it 6 months at a time. We won't worry so much about filling in the part on the right. What we're worried about today being New Year's Eve, is filling in the goals there. That's in the gray column. So let's start at the top. These are focus areas. So obviously the first one from the upper left corner, left side, total units sold. And then it's got on the right of that 12-month goals. That's a year's goals, obviously. How many houses do you want to sell? How many units do you want to sell, we call it sometimes. So, let's just say 24 is your goal. Average sales price. That would be, somewhere usually an average of 200,000. If you're in a more expensive area and that's, you're going to be working there, it may go as high as 300, 400, 500,000. Duluth, it's probably around 200,000. But you know what kind of houses you're selling, so plug that figure in. Okay, now go to the next one down and then multiply the number of units times the average sales price, and there's your sales volume. Now, you know also the average commission that you're getting. Usually half of a commission is around 3%, but you might want to use 2.75. You might want to use 2.5 if you know that you're always cutting your commissions quite a bit. You might want to go lower than that. And so when you multiply the total sales volume times the average commission, then you get the total GCI. And ultimately, that's what we're looking at, is the gross commission that you're bringing in. So that's basically the macro, that top section, top upper left section. Again, we're looking at 12 months, and then we can then break it down, divide by 12, and that's your monthly goals, and that's that second column. Okay, so but we're still on that 12-month goals. Let's go down to that next section down, listings sold versus buyers sold. You see the two that are in the blue and the green arrows, clearly marking those. Well, what's your percentage? I usually try to tell agents to try to go 50-50, but if you're an exclusive buyer agent or pretty much an exclusive listing agent. So the buyer sold plus listing sold should equal the total units sold at the top. So you're just going to have to come up with the figures. This is kind of articulating your strategy here. Okay, so we're still at listings sold. Then listings gained, because you may sell 12 listings, but you may have to get 16, 17, 18. You're looking at a success rate of getting the listing sold. So generally it'd be something like 12 listings sold, maybe 18 gained, and then number of listing appointments. Well, you're not going to gain every listing or win every listing that you get. I mean, I know some of us like to brag, we get 90%, this and that, but generally it's probably going to be about, you're going to get about 70% to 80% if you're good. So you're going to have a higher listing appointments than you do listing gained. You have to have higher listings gained than you do listings sold. If you drop down to the next thing, the buyers, how many units do you want to sell? How many buyer agreements do you have to get signed? Presumably you're signing these buyer agreements before you're sitting down writing a contract. I know a lot of y'all just write the buyer's agreement when you write the contract, but this is the presumption that you're getting that done way in advance. And then buyer orientations. Generally, you have an orientation. You sometimes try to get the buyer agreement signed then and there, but sometimes you may say, hey, I want you to look at this next time before we really get into this. I need to get this thing squared away. So anyways, it's very similar to the process that You should be increasing the number as you go down. Okay, and then we're now down to agents joined. Well, I already told you our $1 million plan. If you could have 7 agents a year for 7 years, that's 49 agents. That will put you in line to potentially making a $200,000 passive residual income. Um, you may want to get to that figure of 50. Really what we're looking at is 50 quicker. So maybe you need to do 10 agents over a course of 5 years. So 50 is the number. However quickly you want to try to get to there, write that number, agents per 12 months per year. Okay, and then the next thing is agents connected. That means how many times in a K. Okay, here's probably the big mystery here. What's the parentheses in K under agent connects? The parentheses K means these are known agents that you're following back up with. The one below, the UK, no, that's not United Kingdom. That's unknown. Agents connects. So those are unknown agents that you're connecting with. So the theory is you're going to have to start talking to agents and using the scripts that we give you. And so this is kind of a figure. I would try to reach out and touch maybe 5. The UK is the one you want to put maybe 5, maybe 5 or 10 a month. Okay. And then the known, it just depends on how many you know and what's appropriate for that moment. So it is a little bit hard to fill that one in. But most important, you want to try to figure out how many you want to join. We're going to be massaging these numbers as we go along, okay? So, the ones with the arrows and the upper part, that's what I'm really looking for, where the red arrow down and the 3 green arrows. Those are the main ones I want you to have for January 1st or 2nd of 2017. I want to talk about the next part, but the next part, I'm not as concerned about you getting, really well done at this point, because we're going to be learning more about these as we go along. This is a new program, y'all are. This has been thrown at you, so it's going to take a little while for you to understand. We're going to create a culture here. So, all right, so we're on that very bottom part, direct talks. These are unknown. So there's a theory that you have to talk to about maybe 40 or 50 unknown people on average. Now, every person, every situation which you're going to be talking to people is different. If you're just talking to for sale by owner, it's going to be maybe 1 in 5 at the worst. But if you're just talking to unknown people and using a dialogue or a script that's appropriate for the situation, ultimately asking someone if they're going to be buying or selling now or in the near future. But sometimes, depending on situations, it's going to be a little bit different lead into that. You need to probably, in your mind, for every sale, maybe about 40 unknown people. Okay, so sometimes you're not going to hit on them, and they're not going to say, yeah, I'm looking for a buyer. Yeah, I'm thinking about selling. But they may say, yeah, I'm not now, but 6 months or 9 months from now, I'm going to. That's where the direct talks K or known is. So again, I know you don't know this. There's no way to really write this down until we start going down the road with this. So I would be more interested in you trying to figure out that for every 40 or 50, there's going to be one sale. So how many times do you have to say, hey, this month I'm going to talk to someone I don't know. How am I going to do this? That's what we're going to strategize on. I would say for every sale you got at the top, you need to say 40 maybe. So if you want to make 2 sales a month, you need to talk to 80 people that you don't know. Okay? So then there's another thing for mailers and postcards. Again, I don't know if you really know that right now. I think next year will be better, more into this culture, and we'll have people who have been in it will be better able to put this. We're going to be using these forms throughout the year, and it's going to be a great map for us getting to where we want to be. New sphere to CRM. Ultimately, as you know, this is a really big part of our culture, is that every time we get an unknown person and we make contact with them, we're going to want to add them to our CRM, because we know our CRM is going to be reminding us when to call them. It's going to be sending emails. It's going to allow us to do a lot of different things. And that's the CRM is the fertile soil. the unknown people that we talk to and we hit on will add to the sphere once we've kind of make them known. So the new sphere essence becomes the known of the unknown. But I don't expect you to write anything on that now. That bottom block, I'm not really expecting anything. But whatever you can figure out, or you do have a handle on, go ahead and put it in there, and we can kind of tweak it as we go down the road. CRM score is another thing. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. We may be changing our CRM platform. There's like 5 or 6 things that Commissions Inc. is not doing, and I didn't realize that until I took their 3-day course. And but we'll talk more about that as we go along. So so each one of them has a different scoring method. So I don't expect you to know, and honestly, I don't know what to guide you in on the CRM score at this particular time. Leads bought, leads gotten. Again, as we start going down the road, the one good thing about the other platform thing about using is you can go in there and buy leads anytime you want to. So I'm going to be encouraging people to do that. So as we start moving forward, wanting to get our goals, I'm going to start getting you to articulate, hey, what are your goals for a number of leads you're going to buy or get? Okay, so and then 15% referrals fees given and 30 to 50% referral fees. Again, I've said it before, say it again. That bottom section is something that you're going to have to understand a little bit more by being in the program a little bit. There's no way you can really put that in there. I'm still going to use a sheet because it's very relative to our entire goal moving forward. And as you see, as we go down the road, you'll get it. So that's it. So I'll just conclude with this. Again, there's 2 versions of this. This is the one we're looking to look 6 months, make it obviously year goal, break it down to monthly goals, and then start trying to hit those monthly goals: January, February, March, April, May, June, and June, and see if we hit our 6 months goals. The other one is going a little bit more micro. Looks almost identical to this, but we're looking at week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and I have week 5 because some months have longer. That we can start recording what we're doing and start looking at a month-to-month basis. Anyways, Happy New Year. Hopefully this answers the questions. Just do the best you can. Most of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory. I think I've explained it well. So do the best you can. And we'll just keep tweaking this thing and getting better as we go along in 2017. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.